people are like, oh, are you pro-choice? I'm like, that depends. What color is the baby?
Some comedians ease you into the joke. Leonarda Jonie kicks the door open and lets chaos do the rest. Today, we're diving into some of her wildest clips, the kind of moments where you don't know whether to laugh or question humanity. Let's get into it.
You see that the fabric of this Christian nation is completely torn.
Yeah.
You could pray in schools before. That was normal. You learned about Jesus in schools.
Right,
I would expect that from a Christian nation.
Right.
I expect that if I go to a school in, Saudi Arabia, I'm going to learn about Muhammad. It's part of the fabric. I expect that if I go to school in Jerusalem, I'm going to learn about Satan. I expect these things.
You know what's crazy? Every nation. That's crazy statement.
Now we go from jokes to Leonarda doing what she does best, taking a serious topic and saying what nobody expects her to say out loud. This one gets intense fast.
But these people are never coming back into these people's lives. They're never coming back. Ever. Do you think it's worth killing these people because some women in Iran can't walk around like hookers because they live under an Islamic republic? Desert people have been doing desert things for thousands of years. They're going to be doing it after, whether your loved ones die or not. And it's certainly not worth killing these people for the gain of a country that thinks nothing of their sacrifice. This was an American plane that was falling to the ground, and it's playing in the background of Israel's Channel 12, while the host, Niv Raskin, urgently notes, we need to emphasize this is an incident involving American forces and not, heaven forbid, an incident involving Israeli forces. God forbid it was one of our, but that's kind of very cold and callous, because here are Americans sending their sons to die for you. And you can't even hold it together for 5 seconds on public television to at least feign sympathy. This is what you want to send. Think again about the person you love the most being in that plane, and this is the way they respond, and that person was there fighting for them. Do you think this is an ally?
If you thought that was wild, this next clip proves Leonarda has absolutely no fear. Zero hesitation, zero breaks, full send.
Do you guys think 9/11 was an inside job, or do you think it was the Jews? Found out the Jews have been kicked out of 109 countries. That's a lie. At a certain point, you got to ask yourself, why? Was Hitler really rounding them up just because they're mildly annoying and cheap? 109 countries, that's like a woman telling you that all of her ex-boyfriends beat her. At a certain point, you got to ask yourself, maybe she was a Jew.
And now she turns his attention to travel, culture, and offending multiple countries in under 30 seconds. Efficient work, honestly.
How old's your kid? 9. So pretty soon she'll have her own.
He's Peruvian.
Peruvian? I went to Peru. It's a horrible country. Every other country sucks, dude. You go to every other country and you're like, oh, this is why the Bronx looks like this. You like the weather in Peru, so go there, you know? I like the weather. I'm not even faulting them, right? If we were a bunch of people living in the equator and be like, oh, I just get the fruit from the tree. I'm just gonna lay around, do nothing, never develop my prefrontal cortex.
Just when you think the topics couldn't get more random, somehow we've arrived at ranking fat categories. Science has gone too far.
Can you tell me what category of fat I fit in?
So it's based on your shirt size. So if you are a 1 or 2X, you are small fat. 3 to 4X, you are mid fat. 5 to 6X, you are super fat.
She's super fat, super fat.
She's a super freak.
She's super fatty.
She's a very special girl.
Gonna die of diabetes.
Leonarda also has a talent for turning social commentary into complete madness. This next rant sounds unhinged, because it is.
Everyone is weak and gay. Even your enemies are weak and gay. Basically, this woman, Sia Weaver, she's supposed to be an advocate for tennis, sure. She gets confronted
outside of her home and asked, oh, since you said all this stuff about taking away white home ownership, does that include your mother's $1.6 million house? Then she starts crying like a goblin. Can you imagine the Bolsheviks being confronted about their hypocrisy and then crying like this? They're looking on her and going, what a weak gay. You got asked a question and you're going to cry. How are you going to carry out the mass executions that are necessary for your plan if you can't even handle being questioned about why your mom owns a house? See, so our enemies are also weak and gay. So this should make you take heart, right? Because you might look around and you might look around at your siblings or your fellow Americans and go, God, how are we ever going to win? Everyone's so weak, fake, and gay. But then you have to go look at the other side and go, oh, they're also weak, fake, and gay. So this is going to be a homosexual World War III, and whoever's the least weak, fake, and gay is going to win. You just have to be less weak, fake, and gay than whatever this is.
And for the final Leonarda clip, she goes all in on one of those monologues where halfway through you forget how it even started.
When they target communities for their own benefit, this is what happens when they scapegoat. And this is what happens when they no longer hide the idea of white supremacy.
See, I'm telling you guys, he's retarded. At least the early grifters knew how to use the words of racist and homophobic and anti-Semitic in a way that produced fruits for them. This is just so blatant. So now we can see what the script always was. Anytime you objected to the mistreatment of yourself and your kinfolk, the clear anti-white sentiment that was aimed at you for at least the last 70 years, even though you don't realize it, they would call you a racist. And now that's the only card they have in their deck. Let's go look up what a scapegoat is, because everybody throws that word out and people don't really understand English, and of course they don't. That's because they're Somalian. A scapegoat is an individual or group unfairly blamed for the faults, mistakes, or problems of others, serving to deflect responsibility and unify a group against a common, innocent target. A practice rooted in ancient rituals where a goat symbolically carried sins into the wilderness, but now functions psychologically and socially as a defense mechanism to avoid facing real issues. You can't scapegoat the Somalians by blaming them for what they're doing. Irony of ironies, Tim Waltz, you are scapegoating the white man as you've been trained to do by your handlers. This is the great make you crazy gaslighting, is when you call out these certain groups for their bad behavior, and it's not just the Somalians, right? We get it when we were calling out the epic black violence on white people. They would turn it around and say this is white supremacy. They are scapegoating white people for the crimes of these minority groups who overpopulate the earth, actually, because they don't want to deal with the real issue that race is a reality, and all of these groups are going to be tribal no matter what. And the only person who doesn't act in their own interest is the white man, who is conveniently being strung up for the sins of the Somalis.
Now, before we end this video, I've got a bonus clip from another comedian you need to know, Alvin Kuai. If Leonarda is chaos in conversation, Alvin is chaos in real time. In this clip, he's trying to do stand-up while an audience couple completely melts down in front of him, and somehow he makes it even funnier.
I think you should be able to recline your seat on the plane. I think you should. You guys okay? Everything okay?
No, he's just okay.
Okay.
Shut the f*** for slapping her. Yeah, that's what I thought. She's mad because it said 4 years instead of whatever. Instead of 7? Yeah. It's crazy. What were you doing for the first 3? Yeah, continue. Sorry about that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sorry.
This is a good environment for comedy. I know you guys don't give a f*** about the show anymore. You guys are like, let's hear about that. Just like, get these two on stage, get microphones, hash it out right here. You know,
I'm just wondering what happened in the first 3 years, to be honest with you. Okay.
No, yeah, me too.
I'm sorry. I'm really sorry. I just realized a lot about our relationship. I'm really sorry.
No, you're okay. Stop talking.
If you enjoyed this compilation, drop a comment telling me which Leonarda moment was the craziest, and subscribe, because the next video featuring Alvin Kuai is coming soon, and trust me, that one gets even more out of control.